Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the best NFL podcast there is around. This is Let's Talk Yards. I'm Happy Max, and you are Sad Will.
Yep. There's no better way to introduce that. Sad Will and Happy Max.
No. So, obviously, I've been down the past few weeks, but this week I'm Happy Will. Dallas Cowboys proved me right. I changed my mind at the last minute last week because I was going to pick the Eagles, but I said to you, I've been Dallas Cowboys fan for too long now, and they're gonna look out at 9-7 win. Yeah, guaranteed they're gonna end the season 9-7. We're gonna win the division and be the same shit every year. But they did get the win. They absolutely trounced the Philadelphia Eagles, 37-10.
I'm not sure trounce is the right word, but you did perform quite well.
Out of all the games this season, this was the most complete game. Offense, defense, and special teams. There's literally everything I've been calling for happened on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Just a few stat lines for the game. Dak Prescott ended with 239 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ezekiel Elliott, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 yards per carry. And we had Amari Cooper with another 100 yards receiving game. We started off the game with the first... I think it was the fourth play of the game or something like that.
Yeah,
Philadelphia Eagles fumbled the ball. Jalen Smith forced the fumble on, I think it was Dallas Goedert, their tight end.
Yeah.
And I've been saying I would like the Dallas Cowboys to create turnovers this game. They created 4, which is good for the Dallas Cowboys. I know you're a Texans fan and they make about 6 a game, but... Dallas Cowboys don't tend to really do any sort of...
Yeah, you don't really seem to sort of actually score points. You
No.
just sort of seem to have a very low scoring game.
Yeah.
Well, look at the Saints game you had at the start of last year and this year.
Yeah.
You, was it 10-13?
Yeah.
And then 10-12 the year before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't seem to put up big numbers.
No.
But again, like today you've done, last week you've done quite well, scoring 37. That's pretty good.
And I heard going into this week, the Dallas Cowboys are the only team in the NFL to actually not start a drive in their own half. So basically, because we hadn't forced a turnover in the opposition's half, so we've always started at least behind the 50, which I thought was crazy, and it just goes to show how poor we've been on turnovers.
Well, I suppose it also shows that you've got the ability to move the ball down the field.
Yeah, when we have done.
I know. I mean, that is the aim of the game anyway, but I mean, it does show you that the Cowboys have the ability to actually make yards.
A lot of the touchdowns we've had this season have been relatively long
plays,
drives.
Yeah.
So the main thing really is to, when you get turnovers, they're basically free possessions, so to make them count. And that's what Dallas Cowboys did. We got a fumble, then we got a touchdown, Tavon Austin, 20-yard touchdown. They did a nice little pitch throw to him. And he, in the open field, he juked the defender. I like that by Tavon Austin. Philadelphia Eagles got it back again. I think this time DeMarcus Lawrence forced a strip sack fumble. I think he showed up this game. DeMarcus Lawrence, they got a lot of pressure on Carson Wentz, and yet again they followed up that fumble with another touchdown for Ezekiel Elliott.
He's putting up Madden numbers.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I said to you last week, or it might even be the week before, and I was on my rant. These players, they've got no excuse, and they at some point their pride needs to take over, and they need to just start dominating. And I think it took them 3 weeks, and then it took them the Jets game to get humbled, but they got humbled. Definitely against Jets.
Oh, yeah, big time. There's no way you could sort of go into this. You go against the Eagles with that mindset of, oh, yeah, if we get beat by the Jets, we're definitely going to beat the Eagles. There's no way on earth you're going to have that mindset before going into that game.
And it's a division game. There's a big rivalry between the Eagles and the Cowboys. If they wouldn't have turned up for this game, heads have been on a pike.
Well, I'm not going to lie. This game was perhaps the most obnoxious fan collision. The most obnoxious fans in the NFL. You've got Cowboys fans, we them boys, every single day of the week. They get up and they just scream, we them boys. And you've got Philly fans that just shout dog pound and climb up street poles.
Well,
cause havoc. No, I'm kidding.
No, but it's true, and I mean, people are probably gonna say that. Oh well, the Eagles secondary is basically non-existent. I have been saying that their secondary is weak, and they've got quite a lot.
It's
of
weak,
injuries,
but it's not non-existent.
No,
because
they've had
they've created at least some turnovers.
Apart from
have they? No, you have. Yeah.
Apart from the third Dallas Cowboys touchdown, at this point it was 14-7. Dallas Cowboys got to the end of the right into the 1 yard line, and they ran a play action pass. I don't know if you've seen it well, but Blake Jarwin, I think they said on commentary that's probably the most open a wide receiver's they've ever seen being in the end zone.
I'm not sure I saw that. No, I have to have a double check.
You will have to watch that, because that is something crazy. Basically, they ran it. It seemed to almost be they faked the run, but then it looked like Dak Prescott was going to run it himself. So they faked the run with Zeke, then he rolled out, but then everyone commit. So most people commit to the run. I think there was about 2 Eagles players that went with Dak, and Blake Jarwin just got off the line and went into end zone. Literally, he must have had pretty much the whole of the end zone to himself. It was crazy. That was 21-7. Have to give a bit of a shout out to Brett Maher.
Yeah.
I did rant at him a bit, and to be honest, my opinion of him has not really changed, because he hit a 62 yarder last week, and now this week he's hit 63. He becomes the first kicker in NFL history to kick for 3 60-plus yard field goals. Which
consecutively? Or
in a season ever.
Oh, really?
No kickers ever hit more than 2 60-yard field goals.
He's done
60
3.
yard plus, yeah. The only other one, I think they might be tied, but Janikowski's got 2. So it just goes to show, I mean, Janikowski's been in this league for how long? And he's only got 2. Yeah. I mean, and obviously it has some context to it, because you know,
he makes field goals.
Yeah, and not a lot of teams are going to go for it during the game. They're going to do it before halftime, things like that, when they know that if they miss it, the field position's not going to matter too much. As I said, they went 21 going into the halftime. It was 27-7.
That's quite a margin.
Yeah, it was, and then the only thing that they managed in the third quarter, 2 field goals, one for Eagles, one for Dallas Cowboys, 30-10. Dak Prescott threw an interception in the end zone. Tavon Austin was double covered. It was a bit of a poor throw, but at that point, I think they were going for the kill shot. Dallas replied to an interception of their own. Xavier Woods getting an interception, and that's what I've been waiting for this whole time. A Dallas Cowboys interception, because we seem to always get our hands on the balls but never actually make it. It's a lot of swatting going on, or a lot of drops, and realistically they ended the game with Dak Prescott scrambling for 8 yards, touchdown. I think I saw now that means that Dak Prescott is now the leading all-time rusher Cowboy. No one scored as many.
Yeah, but let's be honest. What can you think back to a time of when the Cowboys had a dual threat quarterback?
No, I mean.
So I mean, don't make it wrong. It's a good stat for a franchise stat. But put it in perspective with other teams. Can you think of a time when the Cowboys have had a decent dual threat quarterback that can run?
No, exactly. He's beaten Brett Maher, but. Sorry, not Brett Maher, Roger Staubach.
I was thinking that, yeah. But no, I mean, I do understand it. I'm not trying to dampen the stat, but when you put it up against maybe, I don't know, Russ Wilson, or, you know, people, well, Lamar Jackson this season, you know, he's not worth...
No,
the whole 40 million
a
year that he wanted, or whatever the crazy amount of money that he was demanding. There's no way he deserved that, because look, you get players that are getting paid more and aren't even worth that. Think of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
I'm not being funny. He's a good QB, but he's not worth that kind of money.
The problem is that the Dak Prescott knows, and everyone knows how important a QB is, and when you've got one that you know you can win with,
yeah, you're sweet.
Do you want? But when it comes to contract negotiations, the QB knows that.
Yeah, but I do understand that in a certain respect. As like they've got the power. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a good relationship with your coach, and you are going to take advantage of him and say, oh, you know what, I'm winning games here. I'm a good dual threat. I'm the best QB this franchise has ever had.
Yeah.
If you want to pull that I'm the better player card, is that really the best move career-wise? Because do you want to piss off the owners of your team?
Well,
That's
I mean,
the thing.
they're gonna. I don't know whether he will let his contract run out or whatever.
I can't see Dak playing for another team personally.
Do
you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Would you, let's say, Max Quinn, QB of the Dallas Cowboys, would you try and piss off Jerry Jones and demand more money when you know deep down that there's no other option?
Well,
not try and piss off, but try and wiggle some more money out of it.
There will be options though, because let's be honest, if he hits the open market, there'll be teams with a hella cap space that will throw moolah at him. So it depends what 100%.
So do you reckon if he let his contract go out, do you reckon that a team would pay him $40 million a year?
Yeah, 100%.
You reckon? Who?
Yeah. I
can't think of a team that's got that kind of money other than Patriots.
I don't know the cap. I don't know the cap space, but I knew at one point teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars had about $60 million plus.
Really?
Yeah, there are a lot of teams that look like they don't give a shit in regards to the cap. In regards to the league, I mean, it's teams like the Dallas Cowboys why the cap limit keeps going up, but at the end of the day,
I mean, you are a very profitable team.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think you are the biggest franchise. I mean, I think we spoke about it last week, didn't we? But you are the biggest franchise in sporting history.
Yeah, exactly.
And you are continuing to growing. So.
But that 100%. I mean, you look at the teams. We'll speak about it later. Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
They need a new QB. LA Chargers. They need a new QB.
Do they though?
Oh yeah,
no, they don't.
Philip Rivers.
No, I mean,
but
he's not gone just yet.
Denver Broncos. They need a new QB. Washington Reds. I mean, he's not going to go to Washington.
No.
I mean, he could, to be fair.
Could you imagine the rivalry? Christ.
Jesus
Every single
Christ.
Cowboys fan will burn their Dak Prescott jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll do the whole Antonio Brown thing and just burn everything.
I don't think they'll let him go. The problem is that they've maybe backed themselves in the corner now because Zeke was basically sat all off season saying, I want to be the highest paid running back, and
now
finally,
he is.
Yeah, exactly.
But then does the Cowboys have enough? Sorry, do the Cowboys have enough money to pay the both highest paid QB and highest paid running back? Can you afford to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we're gonna have to let a lot of people go. But anyway, I think the only thing with Dak is I like him, but he's never proven whether he could win with a average team. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have always had actually quite a lot of pieces around him for him to succeed. I'll talk about it later, but Aaron Rodgers, the numbers he's putting up with his wide receivers.
And they're trash.
Yeah, they are. Like, you see some of their names. These are waiver wire people you pick up on Fantasy League.
And they create players.
Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, who the fuck is that?
Where's he come from?
And then he's nobody.
There's some other guy with name ends in a Z. The only guy I actually know is Devontae Adams, who's a good player, to be fair, but he's been injured. And then they've got Jimmy Graham now, but Aaron Rodgers can do it with anyone. But you see it with Dak.
It's the same with Tom Brady. He was thrown to literal Walmart cashiers.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but I think that's maybe more to do with the scheme wise. But
yeah, of course. I don't think you don't have a scheme or a system anywhere near.
Because we've seen what happens when we don't have Zeke and we don't have Amari.
Yeah,
and I've got just
it's pretty bad.
Basically going over the game. I say the positives I take from this are Amari Cooper is crucial to this team.
Oh yeah, big time. It was a good snag as well. That
he missed last week against the Jets. I think if we had had him against the Jets, we would have beaten the Jets. He is so crucial. He makes highlight plays. He is a class player. Zeke was back on form again. He made some tough runs. The way he trucks people is amazing. And also a shout out to Sean Lee. They've been bringing him into the linebacking core a bit more because I think Leighton Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith have slightly been struggling and not been playing as well as they did last year. But yeah, those three players I think really came in thrown yesterday, and I'm hoping they can continue this next week against the bye.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's going to happen again. They're going to win the division. Jason Garrett's going to get a 5-year contract, 4-year contract, and I'm probably going to be depressed for the rest of my life because we're never going to get past the divisional round.
No.
But 37-10, I'm just going to try and stay positive. Yeah, I'm going to let you take over now and maybe you be a bit negative for once. Well,
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be too negative because I was a bit sort of, let's say, dubious about the Colts this year. And I think you were as well. You were like you were saying that the Colts are good in our division. And currently we've been dethroned. We're now second in division. And last week we were leaders of the division. And we were going to be, well, and I know if playoff was now or playoff was in week 6 or whatever. But I like to look at playoff pictures before, like midway through the year, because it gives you an idea of how well teams are performing and gives you a judge of how the league can play out. Yeah. And I think the AFC it's definitely between these two teams. It's well, I mean, our division is definitely between these two teams.
Colts and Texans.
Yeah, big time. And I think it always was going to be. And I think from the start of the year, I was a bit sort of like dismissed the Colts a little bit. And I was sort of worried about the Titans more because they were putting up some crazy numbers against people. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think at the end of the, like now the season's played out a little bit more. It's come to realise that the divisions are now set. So each leader's normally going to stick with it, other than this one, I think.
I mean, looking at it now, it's very close.
It's tight.
4-2, 4-3, 3-4, 3-4.
Yeah, it's tight. It's not.
But we basically said that. We've been saying that.
I know.
All.
But then again, like this sort of this week for me has made me realise that Texans are. It's quite competitive. That's the thing. It's not. It's not competitive, but it is in the same light because the teams aren't good enough to compete against other decent teams, but then when we put together, we compete well against each other. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, and I didn't think I'd ever see such a more inconsistent team than Dallas Cowboys until I started to pay attention to the Houston Texans.
Honest to God, yeah. I mean, we beat the Chiefs last week, and then we lose to the Colts.
Jacoby, Jacoby.
But anyway, the Sean Watson had okay game. 23 to 34 completions, 308 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So, I mean, it's not crazy stats, but it's not anything crazy.
No, I mean, I think if you watch the game, though, obviously we've spoken about stats are misleading.
They are misleading.
And sometimes he was scrambling for his life. I don't know what the sack count was.
No, I have no idea. I have no idea.
But you would have seen it, but there was one. I don't know what happened actually because I didn't watch the live version of it. But there was a play where Deshaun Watson was scrambling for his life. Someone basically had hold of his ankle, and he still got a touchdown. But then they called him down on a sack or something like that. I didn't see it back on the replay.
Yeah.
But he said he was down, but he didn't look down.
No. He didn't look down to me either. But anyway, so key players today for the Sunday game was Kiki QT, got his first touchdown of the year. A bit of a disappointment. I thought he'd perform a lot better than he did, but DeAndre Hopkins is putting up. At least he got 100 yards this week. 9 receptions, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenny Stills, again similar stats, 4 receptions, 105 yards.
Yeah, he seems to have
no touchdowns. I think he's quite a good recruitment actually. I think he's quite a good addition to the team. I mean, our receiver core was mediocre with, if you exclude Hopkins, but I think this year is towards the better end of the table. But Hopkins is not performing as well as I thought he would, which is a bit of a disappointment. But
no, because there was talk of him being the best in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
we were talking about him being the best in the league.
I was looking at even before week 1 started, I was looking at week 1, whole season predictions, and loads and loads and loads of NFL experts were saying he is going to be runner for the MVP, and that's long gone.
No, it
was long gone after the first week. I mean,
the funny thing is though, if we think about it, who would you say is probably been the best wide receiver this season? There's not really been a standout.
And I'm thinking there's not really been a standout. Running back is definitely McCaffrey, and wide receiver. Adam Thielen?
Michael Thomas.
New
Orleans Saints. No one from the Patriots.
Edelman.
To be honest, I think Amari Cooper's up there.
Amari Cooper's definitely up there. Yeah,
he's so important to this team. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so not much to say really about the Texans game. Otherwise, it was just disappointing. And the only thing that is taking our team from being a championship team to being just a winning record team is ridiculously stupid penalties we keep giving up for the sake of no reason. You know, the holding calls, the face mask calls, the PI calls. You know, it's just them stupid things, them silly mistakes that for some reason our players seem to love to do.
Yeah.
It's not like playing dirty. It's just, you know, it's just not knowledge. It's just not knowing what you're doing. I don't think. I think we really need to work on penalties and not. I don't know. I think our team gets a bit sort of het up and a bit sort of wound up when we're not performing well. And so to start off the game, the Colts scored within the first sort of, in the first quarter. I think it's in the first sort of 10 or so minutes, and after that our team just sort of went meh.
Mm.
Secondary went to meh, and they just carried on scoring.
Yeah.
And again, causing penalties. And I've been saying this for the entire podcast that we have here. Our secondary is, I'd probably say, one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, it's up there with the
and
Eagles.
We're trying to make trades. I'm sure we traded for someone in the week. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I saw it on Instagram, and I was thought, oh, it's quite a good addition actually, because he was a 3rd round pick.
Hmm.
But
anyway.
but anyway, so we got him to the addition, and obviously there were talks about Jalen Ramsey, but obviously he went to the Rams, and we're looking after. Well, we're hopefully looking for a new safety, but I'm not sure on the logistics of that yet, and nothing's really come out that I've been looking at so far.
No.
But at the end of the day, the Colts just outplayed us.
Gary on Conley.
That's it. Yeah, Connolly. Yeah.
They're also, funny enough, just coming out today. They're working out what do you call it? What's his name? Am I getting that name right? JJ Nelson.
Yeah, maybe.
The wide receiver who used to play for Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's trialing out for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But anyway, yeah. So defense, not too great this week. The only stand-up player was, again, number 59, Benardrick McKinney, 2 tackles for a loss. You know.
They took a safety in the end zone.
They took a safety in the end zone. Yeah. Again, I don't really know. I think it's our secondary is just sort of, you know, taking a bit of a.
I think you need to put your team on blast, Will. You know.
I think our secondary has taken the sort of the juice, the mojo, if we're Austin Powers, the mojo out of our whole defense. Because
I want my baby back ribs.
But yeah, I think the secondary has sort of taken out the whole sort of system of how well our defense performs, because we haven't been. How many turnovers did we create in the start of the year? I mean, we like one game we did like 5 a game or 4 a game. So I mean, and then now that's gone to nothing. And I think because our D-line is pretty stacked, I'm not gonna lie. With DJ Reader, JJ Watt, McKinney, Merciless, you know, the whole sort of our receiver.
They get a lot of fumbles.
Yeah, a lot of hard hitting players. But then when teams figure that out and go deep. How demoralising would that be for a defensive end to constantly seeing the ball thrown over your head and then giving up massive plays? He must knock you down pretty hard anyway. But yeah, I think the only thing I'm saying about this game is, you know, lack of penalties. Stop giving out stupid penalties. And I think we are sometimes unlucky with the referees, but I don't want to be that fan that's like, oh, referees ruined us again, because that's not how it works in the NFL.
You can put the referees on blast.
I can, and I think. You know, we have been unlucky in that respect, that the refs have been giving us dodgy calls and stuff. But at the end of the day, you can't change that.
Nah, there's shit all the way around, aren't they?
Yeah, so it happens to most teams. And think about the Lions.
Green Bay.
Think about the Lions. I mean, yeah, like, do you see the Lions guy that handed a referee like money as a joke from the side?
Yeah.
To try and win him the game. I mean, they didn't win, obviously, but yeah. So I think the secondary definitely needs improving.
It was a career day for Brissett as well. He's never had 4 touchdowns in a game. Yeah. And funnily enough, looking at the stats here, they only had 44 yards rushing.
Yeah, which shows how lock up our defensive line is, and
how poor the secondary is.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because you're giving up 44 yards to the leading rusher, but then 326 passing yards. So
that's 3 times down the field.
No interceptions.
Well, 3 times on the quarter down the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a secondary just needs to be improved. I hope Connolly can sort of, you know, bring a little bit of heat to this. And we did lose a lot. We lost Kareem Jackson. I'm sure he went to the Titans, I think. The only player that I think is probably one of our best corners is Kareem Jackson. No. Jonathan Joseph.
Yeah.
I think he's been with the team for years. So I think, I don't know.
How long has your head coach been there for?
Bill O'Brien has been with us since 2014. Or no, yeah, it was whenever Gary Kubiak left, so 2014.
So obviously I've been putting big ginger nut on the roast fire. What about Bill O'Brien?
No, you see, Bill O'Brien, I like him, and he was calling plays back again. Like, the other week we spoke about Tim Kelly. He was calling plays, and we beat I can't remember who we beat. It just gets to my mind.
Chiefs.
But beat the Chiefs by a reasonable amount as well. And he's back calling plays, and I don't know. For me, the correlation: Tim Kelly calls a play, we win 2 games in a row. Bill O'Brien goes back to calling plays, we lose to the Colts. Do you know what I mean? I know it isn't exactly Bill O'Brien's fault.
Yeah.
All this sort of jazz. It is the secondary's fault. It is, our D-line giving up ridiculous penalties. But at the end of the day, if you're not calling plays, if you see something that works, continue doing it. Tim Kelly calls plays, we win games by 50 points. We scored 53 points 2 weeks ago, and now we're back to scoring 23. So, Bill O'Brien, I like him as a coach. I think he's quite a good. He's got a lot of experience, and he knows. He takes players from teams that he's worked with. Think of the Patriots. We have quite a strong sort of connection with the Patriots. We took Will Falk from the Patriots. We took Ryan Mallett. We took Hoyer.
All those star men.
Sort of second. I mean, not. I'm saying that they're star men and that, but
no.
We do have a strong connection, and I think Bill O'Brien did learn a lot from Bill Belichick and learn a lot from Tom Brady.
That's what Bill Belichick's trying to make you think.
Nah.
That you got a strong connection. Yeah, have Ryan Mallett.
We do have a strong connection. We do have a strong connection. However,
they could lend you Edelman.
I don't think we have much luck with the connection. And you know how clever bloody Bill Belichick is with these players. He knows who to keep. He knows who to take away, doesn't he? So he knows Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett were trash.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's part of the mud for us. But again, so, my main 2 pickups of this game was lack of secondary, which should be improved with new players if we can acquire them, and stupid penalties, which we will not give up anymore, and maybe the fact that Tim Kelly should go back to calling plays.
And Texans are going to end 8-8.
No. No, winning season this year. 9-7.
We should put a bet. We should put a bet on right now.
For what winning record?
We should wager which of our teams is going to get a high record. 10-6.
We're winning against the Raiders next week.
To be fair,
and I'm seeing them in London on the 3rd of November. We're playing Jacksonville. We'll win that game.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I do want to see Gardner Minshew. I want to see him sling some ball.
Hey.
I get to see him. I get to see the Minshew mania in real life person.
The bandana.
Yeah. But no. So what do you think? I think Texans will go 10-6 if we go do this live bet thing. 10-6 for Houston.
So you think? So what we're gonna do? Like, if we get our team right, or we're gonna wager which team's gonna be the best?
Should we wager which one's gonna have a better record?
Yeah.
What happens if they get the same record, which could happen?
Then there's no bet, it's null and void.
Okay.
But so we'll put a bet on it now, and we'll do a forfeit if the Dallas Cowboys get a worse record than Texans. I'll do something. If Texans do worse than the Cowboys,
I'll do something.
You do something. Sound.
So we can decide that later.
Sorted it live on air there.
Yeah.
But anyway, now we are going into the rest of the games, the reviews. And I start with what started off the week, which was KC versus Denver. What a game we had! 30-6, Kansas City picked up. Rarely they were on a bit of a losing streak, but
yeah. Well, we spoke about it briefly, didn't we, in last week's video because it was a bit late. But,
that's another thing as well. We had a bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah, for some reason YouTube uploaded a video 3 times.
Yeah,
and then it told me when I first uploaded that it wasn't there.
So if you wanna go back and listen to our review predictions, you more than welcome to, and you will see that I lost predictions again. So I am 1 week away from doing something
What is the score overall now? Is it 4-3?
It's 4-3.
4-3
So we're
to
going
me.
into the last.
See, I'm
week
doing
of
well
the
now.
set.
I went 3-0. I went 0-3.
I'm still doing stupid shit. I picked the Bengals to win.
You did, yeah.
I mean, Jesus
I
Christ.
told you not. I mean,
I
didn't want to say not. Don't do it, but I mean, you did.
I picked Detroit to win.
Yeah. Silly move, mate. Silly mistakes.
I nearly saved myself with Dallas and Philadelphia, but you know.
Yeah. Here we are.
30-6, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs ended the game passing with 117 yards from Matt Moore, one touchdown. Patrick Mahomes 76 yards, one touchdown. He left the game with an ankle injury after meme city really. Andy Reid calling a sneak when his QB is basically struggling with an injury.
I don't know why you do that.
No,
I don't know why you do that.
I don't.
I wouldn't
know.
be happy.
That's Andy Reid for you.
If I'm Mahomes, I'd be fuming. I'd be like, dude, I've got a dodgy knee. What the hell are you playing at?
Yeah, but you see that with Andy Reid, he will make on-game calls which are
ridiculous.
Stupid.
And that's why they choke games.
Exactly, big games.
But, I mean,
in the
they aren't
playoffs,
choking
you
at the
can't
moment.
do that.
Well, they are.
A little bit they are, but yeah.
A little bit.
LaShawn McCoy, 64 yards rushing. Tyreek Hill, 74. Realistically, offensively, not a huge game for the Chiefs. I just think that the Broncos were that poor. Joe Flacco, 213 yards. Philip Lindsay gets 36 yards. Cortland Sutton's their leading receiver with 87. To be honest, wasn't the best Thursday night game. You struggle to wonder how and why they pick some of these.
I don't know. I honestly think it's
games.
just random. I'm not gonna lie. Because who's the next Monday night game?
I know
Steelers.
Is that the thing you tagged me in?
It's the thing I tagged you in.
Miami.
Yeah, that's it. Miami Steelers.
Yeah.
And it's a baseball player throwing up violently on tee.
But yeah, it's just one of them games. I mean, the Denver Broncos aren't good offensively, and if they can't hold their opposition to less points, then they're not going to do very well. But yeah.
Moving on, the next game that I watched, Rams Falcons. Rams win. It's the exact same score as Eagles Cowboys, coincidentally, 37-7 to the Rams.
That's crazy.
Bit of an improvement for the Rams because they were on a 2-game losing streak, weren't they?
They were on
3-game losing streak.
They were on 3. I'm pretty sure because they were 3 now.
I mean, the Falcons. From my point of view, the Rams were definitely going to beat the Falcons. I'm not sure about if you thought the same. I'm pretty sure you.
Oh yeah,
I'm almost certain we both picked the Rams.
I'm pretty sure you picked the Rams for me as well, and I just
I think I did.
Yeah,
I think I did actually. But anyway, I mean, the Rams this year haven't. They've been stacking their defense, but they haven't really got an O-line or their QB is kind of meh. But Jared Goff had an okay game, 22 of 37, 268 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Johnny Hecker, the man behind Punt There to People Too. If anyone's seen those videos on, Dude Perfect and whatever. Johnny Hecker, 1 for 1, 23 yards, pulled him out of a 4th down conversion, bit of a fake punt, I think it was. Not bad. Todd Gurley didn't perform very well. 18 carries for 41 yards.
That's poor.
That's poor.
What's that?
2.3 average.
2.3.
Darrell Henderson, back up, running back, 11 carries, 31 yards, 2.8 average. Again, poor.
No.
Poor running game, which is surprising because the Falcons seem to have a defense where they let anyone through. So I'm not sure what's going on with the Falcons D-line, but it's all the linebackers. But I think it's performing sort of better than they hoped. From the stats that I'm seeing here, there's quite a significant improvement.
Yeah, but at the end of the day as well, you can take a lot of it into they might be run defending well, but are they getting to the quarterback quick enough to the point where they're not giving up? Yeah, they're not giving him enough time to find.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
But then again, the Falcons didn't have a very good running game either. Devonta Foreman, 7 carries, 19 yards.
Yeah.
2.7. Brian Hill, 5 carries, 11 yards, 2.2. So not a very rushing game. It was mainly through the air.
Airing it out. Yeah, but that's That's a Matt Ryan thing to do. And to be fair, they were down.
And in all fairness, Matt Ryan and Jared Goff, they're not bad QBs, but they're not dual threat. They like to see on-field stuff and see who's down there.
Jared can roll out a bit, but not.
He can roll out a little bit, but he's not as mobile as let's say Russ Wilson, I think Big Ben is sort of more mobile than Jared Goff. I'm not gonna lie.
Not at the moment though. You know.
Well, no, he's more mobile in the sort of psychiatrist.
Yeah.
In the
psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
He's losing
room.
his mind.
In the physiotherapist room, he's pretty mobile in there, but we'll.
Or on the couch getting his chips.
We'll bypass that.
Next game, we have potential Super Bowl finalists, I'd say. Green Bay Packers defeating the Oakland Raiders 24-42. It's looking like the Saints Green Bay are going to be maybe an interesting NFC Championship game, if that's what it ends
Yeah,
with.
I think Saints Green Bay is going to be a different one. It's going to be sort of I personally think it's going to be, you're right, it's going to be Saints, Packers or Seahawks in the championship. And I think it's going to be Kansas City, Houston, and New England.
Yeah.
Or, those are the three I'm choosing.
Or Colts.
No. You're just wrong.
Or might be the Titans, you never know.
Oh, imagine. Or Bills, mate.
Actually, there's no sleep on the Bills, to be fair, but, you know.
Bills, mate. Sorry, I'm distracting you from your game.
Come on,
sorry.
Will. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Stat lines here. We've got, to be honest, I watched this game, right? Oakland didn't actually play too badly. Derek Carr, 293 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Jacobs, who we've mentioned quite a few times, 21 carries for 121 yards, 5.9 average.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good stats. And
good
then
stats.
Darren Waller is their leading receiver with 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. I've even put here on my notes, Carr had a decent game. I mean, the one negative for Carr was he tried to run into the end zone and he dove on the corner and he actually fumbled it into the end zone. And
touchback, isn't it?
Yeah, and he did that against Dallas a year or two ago where he actually lost them the game in the last minute against
Yeah,
us
he
by
did, didn't he?
doing
He did.
that,
Yeah.
So
I remember that game.
Was
that
might be
That's a funny one.
maybe his Achilles heel because you don't see that a lot, and he's done it twice in maybe 2 years now. Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure I heard, is the first Packers QB with a perfect passer rating in the history of their franchise. Which is
He's not had a perfect passer rating before?
I don't think so.
Has he not?
I watched the video and he got the game ball, and the coach brought him in and basically said that, listen, he's the
best you can have.
He also became the fastest QB in NFL history with 350 career pass touchdowns, which is 172 yards, 72 games, sorry. And also he had 3+ pass touchdowns for the first time in his last 18 games, which is crazy, to be honest. Honestly, the Raiders had no answer for the Green Bay offense. The Oakland defense really let them down this game.
But you can see that in the score, can't you? Really?
Yeah, they couldn't. They literally could not do anything against the Aaron Rodgers offense. And as I said, there's not. They're probably going to get into the. I reckon they're going to get in the championship at this point. They've got the QB to do it. He got 429 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, you don't get much better than that. He had 1 rushing touchdown as well. And as I said, when you look at these list of names, well, Valdez Scantling, 1 touchdown, 133 yards.
Who?
Jimmy Graham, obviously. Then we've got Jake Camaro.
Who?
Danny Vitale.
Who?
Alan Lazard. Geronimo Allison.
Who?
Aaron Jones. Jamal Williams.
Who are these people?
And he's literally getting them all at least 3 or 4 receptions.
I mean, obviously, I know who they are, whatever, but
I know John.
They are essentially nobodies. I mean, I'm not going to be rude and everything, but they are.
No, but if they were on our teams, they'd be doing fuck all, basically.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, they are. They'll be second string, third string, receivers. Yeah.
But that's the mark of a good QB, to make the wide receivers look good, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is, So moving on to bit of a close game, actually. Closer than I thought it'd be. Bit of a Miami Dolphins Bills. Their Dolphins, they scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. The Bills didn't score a touchdown until the fourth quarter.
That's crazy.
They scored two.
Is that an offensive touchdown?
They scored 3 field goals, yeah.
Oh, shit.
3 field goals, and then they didn't score anything in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, they scored 22 points. It's kind of mad. So, the other week I said, games are won in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, yeah.
Because they were down.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Dolphins sort of started off pretty good, actually, I reckon. They touchdown, first quarter, another touchdown. Stats weren't too bad. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 23 for 35, 282 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ryan Fitzpatrick rushed for 1. Kalen Ballage, 3 carries, 7 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Then Devontae Parker, 55 yards, 5 receptions, 1 touchdown.
Was it this game that they scored a touchdown off an onside kick? Is that I think it was Micah Hyde, wasn't it? When they were chasing the Miami Dolphins trying to get the ball back, and they basically get the game with a return for a onside kick touchdown.
But I mean, so the Bills weren't performing well. I'm not gonna lie, they were kicking field goals until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So
the Dolphins
I'm
kind
of. I mean, I know they're bad, but they've. I mean, I've been saying they are the new Browns, but I'm not being funny. The Browns wouldn't score points.
No, they're not as bad as the Browns.
The Dolphins are scoring points, and they've had an average performance. 2 touchdowns in the first half, touchdown in the second half. Bills sort of didn't do anything until the last quarter, really.
No.
So they have a boring game if you're watching that one because
they're not really jazzy teams, are they?
I mean, I'm rooting for the Bills because they've been at the sort of bottom of the trash pile for years,
and
now
that can chase
now
Patriots.
they're doing quite well.
Yeah,
but again, they've been put in a division where they're never going to win it.
No, they can, but they're going to beat the Dolphins and the Jets.
Yeah, they'll beat the Jets, but I mean, funny.
They're not.
It's just
Patriots.
luck of the draw that you're with them.
They might even get wild card, and not wild card. Well,
they might get wild card.
Well, they will. They will get wild card.
They're in a wild card contention if playoff picture was today.
They might get a better record than the other team in the AFC gets like the second seed at this rate. I actually don't think that'll happen. But anyway, our next game is Arizona Cardinals, New York Giants. Your Kyler Murray train continues. 27-21. I've got here actually some critiques I noticed. Kyler Murray needs to know when to release the ball.
Yes, I agree.
He tries so hard to extend plays and gets sacked so much. He had 2 very rookie mistakes. The first one being he tried to extend the play far too long. He got sacked at about his own 4-yard line, and then resulting in that, they actually got a block punt in their end zone, correlating to a touchdown for New York Giants. And then the second one was when they were driving down the field and they were trying to waste as much time as possible, so the Giants couldn't get the ball back with enough time. And whilst he's scrambling, instead of taking the sack, he actually runs out of bounds. And it's quite funny because you see him straight away going. Either he knows what he's done, and everyone's probably shouting at him to not go out of bounds.
But then that's a rookie thing to do.
That is a rookie mistake, and hopefully he'll learn from that.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, you can't expect a QB that's literally brand new in the league to have knowledge of a QB that's been in the league for 10 years.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah. But he did end the game with 104 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
That's not great.
No. But the standout the player for them was actually Chase Edmonds with 126 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's pretty mad.
He had a great game. I've not really heard much about Chase Edmonds, if I'm honest with you. Like, I don't know really.
I haven't even really.
Don't know his backstory. Don't know where he got drafted or anything like that. But if you watch the game, he was playing well. And for the Giants, I mean, I said they'd win, but I don't know really what's going on at the moment. Saquon Barkley with 72 yards, 1 touchdown. Daniel Jones, 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The train's kind of halted. apart from Golden Tate, they've got no one to throw it to.
Yeah.
And even then, Golden Tate's a bit hit and miss, really, isn't he? So, I'm not complaining, but they need to sort it out. And as I said, one of the last things I noted on was there was a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones, and they actually gave up 8 sacks in the game.
Wow.
So, I think Chandler Jones had a game to remember. So.
And so next, moving on, we have the next game, another divisional game for me to watch. Jacksonville versus the Bengals. Jacksonville won this one 27-17. I expected that. I'm not sure why you voted for the Bengals last week. That's another reason why you lost, because you voted for the Bengals.
So shit.
But, so, I mean, I'm not entirely sure how the Bengals scored 17 points with Andy Dalton behind the wheel.
No, I have
but Gardner Minshew, again, kind of okay stats. 15/32, which is not great. But 255 yards, 1 touchdown. You know,
I was watching Red Zone, and I saw, because I was kind of keeping an eye on it. I think at the time it was about 21-10 or something like that. And Andy Dalton had some awful interception throws.
Yeah,
he literally just threw it straight.
Just looking at the first quarter, first play of the game was turnover on downs. Then it was punt,
dead,
field goal, punt,
dead.
touchdown, field goal, end of half, fumble. You know, it's meh. That's a meh game to watch.
Yeah.
But again, unfortunately for Houston, Jaguars come out on top. I would have preferred the Bengals to win, but I didn't want to lose predictions, so I knew damn well that the Jaguars were going to win.
I just thought that at some point, I mean, it's the first time Bengals have gone 7-0 since 2008. I just thought
that's quite a stat, that, actually.
Yeah, I just
0-7, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, 0-7. I just thought at some point the Bengals and the Jags have been very hit and miss, and I don't think, even though obviously we love Gardner Minshew, he hasn't actually been that great.
No, his stats are meh. And again, so is Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, 22/43, 260 yards, 1 touchdown,
so overrated,
3 interceptions. I don't. You say that, but I don't know anyone that actually rates him.
I understand that, but not even Bengals fans. But I think he's overrated to be in a position of a starting QB. He is a backup quarterback and a half.
He's a Brock Osweiler that's been there for years.
Yeah, he's a Brandon Whedon. He's a
Brandon Whedon. He's TJ Yates. Been there too long. Anyway,
so my game, which not much else to say because it's basically a football scoreline: Chelsea versus Wigan, 9-0 to the San Francisco 49ers against the Washington Redskins. A field goal scored in the third quarter, and then 2 field goals scored in the second quarter. Case Keenum, 77 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo with 151 yards. This was a defensive game, if you want to call it that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how the 49ers didn't put up more points than the Redskins.
Yeah,
because they've been putting up crazy points against, decent teams. And I'm not going to lie, the 49ers this year have really surprised me.
Yeah.
They've been performing really, really well. And Jimmy G needs to do better than that against the Redskins defense. The Redskins defense is appalling.
It's not the best. It's not the worst, though. I do think that the Redskins defense is probably late teens if I were to rank it.
I'd say no. I'd say
20s,
maybe 23rd. I'd say mid-20s.
They're currently on a streak, though. The Redskins defense has 1+ interception in 6 consecutive games for this season, which is the first time in 2013.
At least they're creating turnovers, but they aren't doing anything with the turnovers that they're creating. So it's all very well saying this, but at the end of the day, if you pick a ball off and your QB does absolutely nothing with it.
The problem with the Redskins is, the defense isn't the best, but when you look at their offense, they've literally got McLaurin, who is they've heavily relied on this season, but even then, Trey Quinn, Wendell Smallwood, Jeremy Sprinkle, Terry McLaurin, not highest receivers, 30 yards. I may preference this, though, by saying the only note I put down was the weather was appalling. There was a play.
It was raining, wasn't it? It was raining the entire game.
Literally.
And that may be an answer to why the 49ers didn't score many points.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's just unfortunate.
Exactly. Yeah, but as I said, nothing else more to say
One of those
really,
games,
apart from the weather was bad and San Francisco are now 6-0.
I did see a funny picture of, I think it was a few of the 49ers linebackers or someone sliding through. And the pitch is literally like a swamp.
Yeah.
Like there's water spraying up everywhere.
The state of their jerseys after
And
the game is mud
I felt
everywhere.
sorry for the groundsman that's got to tidy that pitch up the next day, because that is it's the Sunday League. Sunday League pitch.
It's terrible. Bad day in Washington.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. 49ers. Vikings against the Lions. A bit of a challenging game for us to call last week. We were sort of tongue-tied, weren't we?
Yeah.
But I came out on top.
I leaned the wrong way.
I stuck with my sleeper team, which I did say they were. And you said they were as well, actually. You agreed with me on that one.
They are, but I just rate the lines or something
about
it. I really do.
They cursed, mate. They cursed. Anyway, Vikings, 42 over 30 for the Lions. Good game, actually. Pretty close.
Yeah, the Lions did actually come close to pulling it back, I think.
The Lions, they were going toe for toe. They were touchdowns to the Lions first, then Vikings, then Lions, then Vikings. Then, it was a tough game. And again, they were constantly, it went to 21. Essentially, it was one tit-a-tat.
Yeah.
It was 7-0, 7-7, 14-14, 21-21. It was a close game to watch. But however, sort of towards the second half, fourth quarter, they're missing. Vikings are missing field goals. They're punting, and then for some reason the Lions just sort of stop. Turnover on downs, have a touchdown. The Vikings, that I'm not gonna lie. The second half, the start of the second half was pretty poor to watch. I watched highlights and it sort of skipped from first half to sort of beginning in the fourth quarter. But yeah, I think the Vikings. I think people overlook the Vikings. I'm not sure why. I know you were sort of overlooking the Vikings a little bit.
Yeah, I might have to change my mind, but I saw a lot of Kirk Cousins with him being at the Redskins.
Yeah,
and so. And he never really did anything against our
But he's
Cowboys.
got a bit of a team behind him, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, it just... I don't know. I don't know how well he did last year. I know there was one point... They got to the championship last year, did they?
Yeah.
The whole Saints thing.
Beat the Saints, yeah. And then they lost in their championship game, didn't they?
Yeah, no, sorry. They lost in the divisional to Saints, didn't they?
Yeah, divisional.
And then it was Rams, Saints. That was the one. But I mean,
no, they beat them. They beat the Saints.
Did they beat the Saints? No, I thought the Saints it was the
Saints
and the Rams.
No, Stephon Diggs beat the Saints because the Marshawn, I think it was Lattimore, dived for Stephon Diggs, missed him, and then Stephon Diggs scored literally in the last seconds of the dying game.
That might have been the year before.
Was it?
Might have been.
Oh, I think I'm tripping balls. Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, sorry.
Because there was the whole Saints got skived out the Super Bowl, weren't it? Because it was basically the Chiefs, Patriots, Saints, Rams. They were the best teams in the NFL last year, weren't they? So I think they got to the last four. It was the first time.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But anyway, as I said, I would have actually picked the Vikings if it was a lot of other teams, but I've just got a feeling with the Lions, and they are better than what their record says, personally.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've only got 2 games left. New Orleans, Chicago Bears, another good game, 36-25. Realistically, the New Orleans Saints trounced them, I'd say. Teddy Bridgewater, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. Latavius Murray with 119. Michael Thomas with 131 yards. I think he's probably the best wide receiver at the moment. Got Mitchell Trubisky, 251, 2 touchdowns. Didn't have a bad game. Realistically, main things I take from this game were the Saints D dominated. It was actually the best offensive performance I've seen the Saints do. Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater had a good game. He dealt with pass rush quite well, I thought. There was 2 onside kick recoveries, I'm pretty sure, towards the end of the game, which was crazy. And a really good kick return touchdown from Cordarrelle Patterson. They've got quite a good camera angle on it on the highlights, so if anyone wants to watch that, that's really good. But yeah, they roll on. They're 6-1 now. And Teddy Bridgewater continues to prove everyone wrong. It'll be interesting. I don't know whether Drew Brees is confirmed out for the whole season, but if they get to the playoffs with Teddy, it'd be interesting to see if Drew Brees comes back or they take control.
I think he was out for 6 weeks, so he should be back soon. But I'm not sure if I'm getting confused with Roethlisberger.
That might get interesting, you know. Roethlisberger's out for the season. 100%.
Oh, no, yeah, so it definitely was. Because he only damaged his thumb, was it?
Yeah,
Drew Brees did his hand, didn't it? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it was 6 weeks, so he should be back.
That's a debate to have.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I'm not being funny. I love Drew Brees. So I would, if I was, and Sean Payton and Drew Brees, I have this sort of oddly like father like son sort of relationship, which is kind of weird, but it works.
But I think you play differently with Teddy than you do with Drew. Drew tries more stuff, which may be a detriment. Teddy is very safe. It reminds me of when Dak Prescott came in for Tony. Tony would do some mad shit, win your games but lose your games. Dak Prescott came in,
did it and got on with it.
Get easy passes, didn't want to make mistakes. He I think his first season he only threw about 2 interceptions. Yeah. Crazy stats, but yeah, be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. So my next game, Chargers Titans. A game where you sort of think that the Chargers need to put someone at QB else. I know we were saying it at the start, is Rivers, should he still be there? And I'm a bit...
I've said this every week, he's trash. Absolutely trash.
But Phillip Rivers, 24 of 38, 329 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's good stats.
It might be good stats, but maybe that's misleading. It's all about the crucial plays.
Maybe. I think it's Chargers offense that are struggling because Chargers defense, Joey Bosa, I think he's the sort of main man in that defense. But for the Titans, Ryan Tannehill, 23 of 29, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and Brett Kern just came on for a play, really, threw 11 yards, that's it. Rushing, Derrick Henry had a bit of a game. Actually, no, he didn't really. 22 carries for 90. It's 4.1 average. Ryan Tannehill, 5 carries, 7 yards. Dion Lewis had a go. AJ Brown lost 2 yards. That's not what you need. That's not what you need. But I don't know. A bit of a boring game to watch, really. He was sort of punting, field goal. Just. I don't really know. I think when two sort of maybe late 20s ranked teams sort of play together, it doesn't really generate much of interest.
No, and it's the only really interesting with you because it's the Titans.
And again, I think I said the Titans to win, didn't I?
I
think I did actually.
Yeah, I didn't put it down. I just know that
I did put the Titans to win.
Yeah, I think we both put Titans, to be honest.
I mean, that's a sensible guess. Like a prediction for me to say because the Chargers, I mean, funny, this season they've been kind of trash. But at the end of the day, the only reason I was invested in this game was because of the Titans.
Exactly, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
And the last game was the New England Patriots against the New York Jets, 33-0.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can say about my final game. Literally, the New England Patriots defense is absolutely insane.
No points allowed.
Insane. And I did preference this last week, though. When you do look at the teams they've played, they've not played anyone that's that good.
Yeah, I know. Their record, they're not. I can't put it into words, but they're not exactly what you'd call a lucky team. But they've got a lucky schedule this year.
Oh, 100. As I said, just to go recap it: Steelers, Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Redskins, Giants, Jets. That's who they've played. Next week they've got the Browns.
They're not a lucky team.
I think they are to an extent.
Because they always perform, so you can't put them to luck. No. But this year, their schedule is
very
the easiest of the year.
But that might be good for us because maybe they'll get a shock to the system in the playoffs.
No, I don't think they will.
Actually,
no. Maybe they're right.
I don't know.
Maybe playing trash all season can sort of put yourself in a false mindset.
I think I saw as well that they've got the biggest net points.
What scored?
That as in difference from scored to conceded at any point in the Super Bowl era. They've scored 223 points and only allowed 48, which is a net of 175.
Only allowing 48 points in 7 games. It's pretty mad.
It is mad because we've literally gone through games where they've conceded 50 in a game and things like that. And then the last point was there was a career day for Sam Darnold. He ended with a passer rating of 3.2.
Yeah, that's not great. That is pretty bad.
Peterman comes back from the dead.
Yeah, have we got any Peterman in the league? Do you think?
Nah, I'm not going to trash Sam Darnold too much there because, poor lad.
Anyway, moving on to my last game of the week, Ravens-Seahawks. A bit of a shock to system, a bit of a matchup, I think, with 2 extremely mobile QBs, 2 small QBs. Lamar Jackson, 9 for 20, 143. Not great.
Yeah, but what was his rushing?
Don't want to talk about that. No, rushing was 14 carries, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. He, I think he should, go as running back. What do you think?
I mean, he can, but
yeah,
he is a good player, to be fair to him.
He just needs to work on his accuracy, and I think from the start of the season, I said that from the start of the season, he needs to work on his accuracy, and I think he made an improvement for the first couple of weeks. But I think he's sort of settling into the league now. He needs to, I don't know, just be more consistent.
Yeah.
Because he's had a few, mad games at the start of the season, but he's sort of been slacking a little bit so far. But I think he needs to work on his accuracy. He needs to work on his consistency, definitely. But Russ Wilson, 20 over 41, not great. 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Russ Wilson rushed 3 times for 27 yards.
I'll tell you something, Will, which I thought was interesting. I took a picture of this. Lamar Jackson, right, has 460 rush yards.
Yeah.
That is more than Miami, the Jets, Cincinnati, Chicago, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh.
That's 6 teams.
Overall. He's got more rushing touchdowns than 6 teams.
Christ.
Jesus Christ.
That's quite a stat.
That is.
But yeah, so
a
bit of a matchup for mobile QBs this week. Ravens 30, Seahawks 16. A bit of a disappointment, I think, because I thought the Seahawks were performing.
Seahawks will be disappointed on that one, to be fair.
Yeah, I think they'll
at home as well.
I'd be pretty disappointed if I was a Seahawks fan losing to the Ravens. Not because it's the Ravens, but because I think Russ Wilson has the ability to perform, and scoring 30 odd points on the Rams.
Yeah,
it's not bad, and they just didn't score much. Only 2 touchdowns. I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed in their performance personally. So I think
Ravens are one of them though. They're another up and down team.
Yeah,
and to be fair, Seahawks
they are both 5-2.
Yeah.
So they are pretty equal.
Yeah. So they're showing really their records mean something at least. So
that's the end of our review of the week.
Yeah.
And bit of a boring week. I'm not gonna lie. This week.
Some games were good, but
some were
a lot. There weren't very many close games, to be fair.
Yeah.
Now this is crucial for me. I need to win this week in predictions, otherwise I'm doing a forfeit. So we have US Bank Stadium, Redskins, Vikings.
No brainer for me, Vikings all day.
I'm gonna go for the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
Can't bet against them. Although the Redskins defense might have something to say for their old foe QB, Kirk Cousins. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
We got Seahawks, Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Seahawks. I've got faith in Seahawks this year, yeah.
I think Seattle Seahawks will bounce back, to be honest.
Yeah, they will bounce
and
back,
they'll beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Get back into the rhythm of things.
Atlanta Falcons just trade Sanu to the New England Patriots,
isn't
so
they? Yep.
They've got no offense anymore.
Yeah,
they've still got Julio Jones, but Eagles, Bills at the New Era Field. This is
Bills game for me. Bills will win that one.
Eagles need to win. They
do need to win, but I think the Bills are on a bit of a streak. So
this Eagles team,
and I'm rooting for the Bills.
Beat Green Bay. They're the only team to beat Green Bay.
I'm rooting for the Bills.
Oh, well, I need to do something, though, this week, don't I?
I'm not sure you could vote as a Cowboys fan for the Eagles to win, personally. I think that's almost treachery. Sorry, that's treachery? That's treason. That's treason, then.
Nah, fam. I'm going to say the... Jesus Christ.
Come on.
The Eagles.
Eagles. Oh, that's bold.
I know.
Bold move.
I have to go for it, well,
yeah.
You know. Soldier Field, Chargers, Bears.
Bears.
I also am going to go with Bears. That's going to be a dead game, though. I can already see that now.
Sort of a game. I think it's going to be a game of defense, that one, I reckon.
Yep. Giants, Lions.
Woo. Lions for me, I think.
I'll also go Lions.
Yeah.
They're at home.
I'm not being funny. The Giants haven't done much for me this year to give them any faith.
No.
So
they might pull off a shock.
Definitely Lions for me.
Now we've got NRG Stadium.
Yeah. Raiders, Texans.
Ooh.
Home. Texans. Texans will win that one.
Ooh.
Yeah, Raiders will win. No, Texans will win that one. I reckon it'll be 24-14.
Oh, well. I don't know where to go for the Raiders, fam.
Bold. Also, it's a late game. So we never have prime time.
I think I'm going to go for Texans, to be honest, because I think you're going to bounce back.
Fair enough.
Currently we're only differing on the Bills-Eagles game. TIAA Bank Stadium, Jets, Jaguars. Jets have got to bounce back.
Jaguars. I don't know. I want the Jets to win solely for AFC South standing position-wise. But again, the Jaguars, they beat the Chargers, and the Chargers, I think they're personally better than the Jets. So I'm going to say Jaguars to win.
Yeah,
I don't want to
say Jaguars.
I don't want them to say that to win, but I think they will.
I'm going to say this right now. I might have cost myself because I think the Jets might win, but I'm going to go Jaguars because it's the safest pick.
Yeah.
We're going to go Bengals, Rams, Wembley.
Rams.
Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
No, hang on. Take a step back. I would be really upset as a Bengals fan in the UK, you know, to see the Bengals play in the UK. I don't know when the last time they played. I'm not sure if they ever did, but it would have been like a long time ago. And the one season they come back 0-7.
Yeah.
It's disappointing to see your team lose.
That is quite crap.
And for a British NFL fan to see an NFL team lose, you know, you don't really get to see many NFL teams.
No.
Unless you're extremely rich and flying around the US.
Exactly.
But anyway, sorry. Go back.
No, yes. Okay, so Mercedes-Benz Superdome, Wills, Cardinals against
Saints.
Saints.
Saints for me, I think.
I'm going to
play it
Saints.
safe.
I'm
Saints.
Because
if I bet for the Cardinals, I'm just going to lose a week. I'm going to lose a point in
You
predictions.
could win it. You could win it with that pick.
No, Saints all day.
Nissan Stadium, Buccaneers, Titans.
Ooh. Titans.
Bucks are coming off a bye week. Titans are at home, though. I think I'm going to also go the Titans, to be honest.
Safe move.
Levi Stadium, Panthers, 49ers.
49ers at home. It'll be dry.
Ooh.
It'll be hot. They'll be 7-0. 49ers.
This is an interesting one.
No, it's not.
It's going to end at some point, well.
It won't.
9-0 was awful.
It won't end.
9-0 was
49ers.
terrible.
Yeah, but to get the conditions.
Yeah. I'm also going to say 49ers,
yeah,
Jesus.
Clever.
Broncos, Colts. I'm going to say Colts for this one. Lucas Oil Stadium. I mean...
I'm going to say Colts as well.
They could potentially lose because your division is a bit similar to mine in the sense that...
it's undecided, really.
They kind of flip-flop the teams, so...
Yeah. But I'm going to say Colts as well. I wonder what Peyton Manning would think about this game.
He'd probably pick the... Don't know, actually. Broncos, probably. Yeah. But Colts, anyway.
Colts,
Gillette Stadium, Cleveland Browns, Patriots.
Patriots.
Now we're getting into the one which I might have to differ from you. Packers, Chiefs.
Packers.
Whew.
Because we beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't that great. I mean, they are great. They are a great team. But I don't think people overestimate them. I know Mahomes is probably at the moment one of the best in the league. But you know, they've lost 2 games which they should have won, really. And they put crazy points up against teams that aren't great. But I'm gonna say Packers.
This is the problem, right? Do you know what I might do actually, Will, to make this interesting?
Go on.
I'm going to change my Eagles-Bills prediction to Bills.
Okay.
And then, because we're probably going to agree on the next one, we're going to put all the marbles on the line
on this game.
Because we've agreed on everyone. So I'll say Chiefs and we can watch it.
So I'll say Packers. I'm going to watch that game.
I'm going to be watching it with my hands behind
It's Monday Night Football, isn't it? It's Monday night.
Eyes behind my fingers. And last game, Heinz Field, Dolphins, Steelers.
Steelers, I think.
I'm going to go Steelers as well. But if it ends up being... I mean, if the Eagles bloody beat the Bills... And I could have.
You could have won.
I could have picked Packers.
Packers.
I could have put it all in the Eagles game, but it makes it that game just that bit more bigger. And the teams on the bye are the Cowboys, so there's going to be no review from the Cowboys for me. So we'll have a short podcast next week.
Yeah.
And the Ravens.
They're next at New England, and the Cowboys are next at the Giants.
The Giants. Yes, Monday Night Football. So.
Yeah. So. That's been us at Let's Talk Yards with Max Quinn and Will Feaver.
Yep.
This podcast will be posted ASAP. We're going to get into rhythm of things because of late publishing. YouTube being a little bitch. Get
everyone a chance to watch it whilst everything's still fresh in the mind and stuff instead of.
So we're going to work on our uploading skills because I'm not being funny. YouTube did dig me down at the weekend.
They did. It did.
I edited it as soon as I could on the train.
Yeah.
And I uploaded it thinking it was done, and it wasn't. But never mind. So thanks for watching. Please look out for our next video. Peace.
Yep.